Y'all are old, but you sound young.
Dad could not believe how much beer these Germans drank. So we are meant to be bartenders.
Hospitality business, baby.
Balance in my life.
Didn't think so.
At that point in my life, there was no balance.
But anyway,
it was
so
great.
you're here. In fact, I live in the house that my mom and dad built in 1954. I'm honored to be living in the home I grew up in. Not blessed to be nominated for the Texas Radio Hall of Fame the past 2 years. Hey everybody, welcome to the very first episode of the Judge and JD Show. We're glad you're here, glad you're joining us.
We're broadcasting from right here in Fredericksburg, Texas. This show is about the people, the town, and the good stuff in it.
Happening right here in our community.
It's happening right here in our community.
You betcha. We're finally doing it. This is the place where music, entertainment, community, and complete nonsense all come together.
Little chaos.
In one
nonsense,
bar. In one bar room.
in
Pioneer
one
Bar.
place. Yes, sir.
Fredericksburg, Texas, baby. We got stories, we got music, we got bad decisions. Eventually, we'll have some guests in here. People way more interesting than Judge will be in here.
That's not hard to do. That's not hard to do.
No, seriously, though, we'll have some special guests coming in, and we're looking forward to that. So basically, this show, in my mind, is threading the community of Fredericksburg with the tourism, because those two things go hand in hand.
Yes.
Every weekend, we have the town doubles in size, basically, if you go by the B&Bs.
Right.
So when the people roll in, the town almost doubles in size every weekend, so the family grows, right? So
after
family
COVID, the city had me sit on a task force to get everything, kind of back open.
Yeah.
And it was funny. One of the things they can do, they can see how many cell phones are on in a certain area. They can't read your cell phone. But there was 20,000 people in this 3-block radius on a Saturday in 2021. So we get a lot of people here in Fredericksburg.
Oh, you bet.
Bringing the tourists and
the bachelorette parties are coming in.
It's something to see.
I've been in the driving business for a long time, but boy, we're just becoming a huge bachelorette area, and that's wonderful too. Having all the, those parties coming in, birthday parties, all kinds of.
And they do have their fun. They come in, they dance, and they do their thing, and they're a lot of fun. But we cherish our guests from out of town, and we absolutely cherish our locals as well. And
the guests from out of town keep our community
glowing and flowing.
I mean, we could be a ghost town, and hey, that's the name of my band. But we could be a ghost town, right? But we're not. I mean, what I'm saying is sometimes. Let's be honest here. Some of the locals complain. Some of the people that have been here from generation to generation. But what they don't realize, and I'm the same way. You are too. We were born and raised here. But if we don't have tourism,
yeah, and
this I'm not going to complain about.
This is nothing new. I'd shown Kristen a picture the other day. I love looking up old Fredericksburg pictures. And one of them was a scene in the Chamber of Commerce in the 40s, after World War II. I think it was in the 40s. And the banner behind all of the meetings says something to the degree, Fredericksburg is the key to, hospitality to the West. And so this is, bringing
this is nothing new.
This is nothing new. We, our community's been working on this for a very long time. I think the history here and just the vibe and now the wineries, don't forget about our peaches. We were famous for our peaches forever and ever, and we still got a lot of good folks doing
peaches
that.
And antiques and restaurants. It all started. That's where all the tourism started.
That's where it started, and now we got bars and restaurants and hotels and music. Lots of live
resorts.
And speaking of music, that's one of my favorite parts of what I do for a living, and really. When I called you, I called my buddy JD and heck, can we put a show together about music and entertainment in Fredericksburg? And he couldn't be more excited. And he said, let's do it. And here we are. here we are.
Well, Judge, this being our first episode, let's tell people who we are. Who the heck are you?
Man, JD, I appreciate it. I grew up here in Fredericksburg, really in particular the Stonewall community. Went through the public school here. My folks were small business people, and my mom was a teacher, still is. She's a retired teacher, still a substitute, and couldn't keep her out of school.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Good stuff. And my dad, funny story about my dad. My parents moved down here. A guy named Neil Harris. He was a head coach at Johnson City High School. Ended up being the superintendent. My parents got out of college and they lived in the Panhandle. It's kind of Bible Belt up there, and so their wedding was like cake and punch.
No booze.
No booze.
Darn it!
People didn't drink as much, and that sort of thing. And so they got down here, got the job. Neil gave him the job. Neil's son is still coaching in Johnson City. His name's Brent. Got him the job, and my dad could not believe how much beer these Germans drink. So he got out of coaching and opened a bar, and here we are.
And you've got,
I had some fun along the way.
You and your team got a bar now.
We got a bar.
Yeah,
we got a bar. So and that goes way back. It really goes back to the 30s. I looked at the. I'm kind of a history nerd, and looking at the census kind of stuff, this Ancestry.com, I found that my great-grandfather, that's what he put down as his occupation on the census in 1935, bartender. So we are meant to be bartenders.
Hospitality business, baby.
We're in the bar business, catering business, food and beverage. It's what we do. I got to break off and do a few cool things. I went off to college. Started up in Wichita Falls, up at Midwestern, and made my way around the state.
Did you go to college or party?
I did.
Did you have balance?
More party? No balance. There was no balance in my life.
I didn't think so.
At that point in my life, there was no balance.
but anyway,
it was
so
great,
you went to college.
It was a lot of fun.
Where'd you go again?
I went to Midwestern at Wichita Falls, kind of bounced around the state, and ended up graduating from UTSA. UTSA is a great school. It was a good experience.
So you're a road runner, a Billy.
Hey, I'm an Apache too,
and
man. I got an Apache over there with Coach Slott and the gang at St. Mary's.
You bet.
So that's all good stuff. And I went off after college. Went to work at the legislature, the state legislature, for a Texas House member.
What'd you do?
I worked my way up and became his chief of staff. So kind of ran his office for him.
Wow.
And
I'm shocked too.
They kept me around for some reason.
Right?
They kept me around for some reason, but it was good, and met a lot of great people that I'm friends with today, and really proud of some of the people.
How do you feel that having that position of? How did that help you in business? I'm sure it helped you, with dealing with people and things like that. And
in a society where we are, in my opinion, we're over-regulated to a degree, and it really has helped me understand the regulations, the rules, from the ground up. I understand from the issues. So if, say, a state agency came in and has some concerns, we would reach out to the other stakeholders in business and industry and that sort of thing. So we could kind of find some middle ground and bring them all together. And so I've tried to use that in my business over the years as well. But the big thing is, relationships. I got to know a lot of really cool people that are exciting people that have done a lot for Texas and the country, and that's been really cool. And I just came back to the hospitality industry. Kristen and I got married. I think I was 30, and Kristen's from here as well. And so
local yokels.
We are local yokels, just like JD. And anyway, so we had, and we'll talk a little more about family a little later, but and so my dad passed in 2013. I came back and kind of took what he had and over the last 12 years really built on it, and he would get a kick out of this for sure, this presenting to everyone, but that's what we do, and raising kids and trying to run a business and raise kids, and that's what we do.
So, other than Pioneer Bar, do you have any other businesses? You do some catering. I mean, you do all kinds of stuff, right?
Everything in food and beverage. We own a catering company and here locally, and we do stuff all over with it. But everything, weddings, banquets, all that kind of stuff. Everything from your traditional Texas barbecue to prime rib and super high end or anything in between.
Well, if somebody wants catering or whatever, how do they get a hold of you?
Just look us up at Coach's Country Store Inc. or look us up here at Pioneer. We're not hard to find.
Right.
And Marty, our producer, also doubles.
Our beautiful producer.
As
Marty.
As running our catering division.
We should just show her face when we're talking.
We should.
I mean...
Her face is a lot prettier than yours,
yeah,
JD.
exactly.
Her face is a lot prettier than yours. I don't know about mine. But now, then our biggest thing is our festivals. We go in as a vendor for these festivals. We take our liquor license, our people, and we're their bar. And one that's coming up is the Crawfish Festival here locally, right here on Main Street next
Memorial
weekend.
Day weekend.
Man, we are pumped about that. That we've been doing the bar at it for like ever. And but our biggest festival is the Texas Renaissance Festival down in Houston. It is a second home for Kristen and I. We're really blessed to be a part of it.
And that's almost like a full-time job, right?
That is a full-time job.
It is a full-time job, not almost.
For multiple people, right, Marty?
Oh, yeah.
And
Friday through Monday.
And the rest of my team was here. They'll tell you, Renaissance is a full-time job for a whole lot of people.
Now, I know a lot of people know about the Renaissance Festival and what it is, but just in case there's a chosen few out there that aren't familiar with it, tell us a little bit about that festival.
It's a cultural festival celebrating, the Renaissance period. We've got rides and games. We've got bars, restaurants. We've got stages with unbelievable amount of entertainment. But the big show is our patrons, the people that come. They come dressed up. They come not dressed up. They come in their garb, we call it.
Right.
And we've got families pushing strollers, kids. We've got partiers. It's a really big place. So the park itself, 55 acres. The whole place is a couple thousand acres. Got campgrounds.
Oh, man.
It's a wonderful place. It's a
Yeah.
wonderful part of our lives. It's down north of Houston, the Magnolia Woodlands area.
And how long does it go on?
It's 8 weekends in October and November. So
Every weekend.
it's good. It's a good thing, good stuff, and we're proud to be there. Lots of good people involved.
All right. Well,
So
that's a lot of good info.
that's what we're doing these days. And JD, tell us a little bit about you if you got time.
Well, radio was my background. I started when I was 15, so I've spent over half my life on the radio. So my junior and senior year in high school, and I am an FHS, Fredericksburg High School graduate, by the way, local to the core here. In fact, I live in the house that my mom and dad built in 1954. I'm honored to be living in the home I grew up in. There's not a lot of people can say that.
Kristen and I do the same thing. It's really cool.
It's a huge blessing, isn't it? I mean, and my daughter Ella's excited about, we talked about selling it at one time, and she's like, let's not sell it. Let's keep it in the family. And I'm like, girl, you understand.
Yep.
You get this. And it's like 3 blocks from Hondo. So,
Yeah,
but
so
anyway,
you walk right down it.
So yeah, I grew up here in Fredericksburg. My junior and senior year of high school, I would actually leave at lunch. I was in a work program. Coach Knopp taught the program. Get out your manuals. But anyway, we got to leave and go to work. So it was like a work program. Do they still have that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We got a great work program.
Good. People still work.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I'm just making sure.
Especially the kiddos. Especially the kiddos work.
So my junior and senior year, I would leave at lunch from high school and go work at the radio station, KNAF. So I started at KNAF Radio when I was 15, worked my way up to KFAN, and that's really what kept me here in this market. That was in 1991, and that's really my 15 minutes, I would say, because I helped mold the Texas Red Dirt music scene as far as radio and charts. Like you hear George Strait had 60 number ones on the Billboard. Well,
You developed the chart.
as a program director in programming music, I was instrumental in helping form the Texas Red Dirt chart. I was one of 3 or 4 program directors in,
How cool is that?
in the nation that started and those charts still exist today. It started out with Shane Media.
Okay.
Had the Texas music chart, so I helped Katie Key and those people over there devise that chart, meaning who we were playing, what songs we were playing, how often we were playing them. So that's kind of how the charts work, and those charts are still existing today. Dave Smith has the Texas Regional Radio Chart. There's 90 stations now that are playing Texas Red Dirt, and I also was instrumental in helping form a genre of music called Americana.
Right.
And Americana is still a genre of music today. There's still charts. So that's my 15 minutes. In fact, I was blessed to be nominated for the Texas Radio Hall of Fame the past 2 years. I haven't gotten in yet.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
There's a chance.
We'll get it.
Thank
Don't you worry.
Thank you very much.
We'll get there.
But because of my contribution to the music scene, and you're right, when you mentioned music in this show, that really got me excited.
It is exciting. Tell us about Ghost Town.
I got a band,
music.
Ghost Town. We play around the area. A lot of us have been playing together since we were kids.
Yeah.
A lot of the band members, Rick Broadbeck, Clyde Pale, and myself, a lot of us have been playing together since we were just 10, 11, 12 years old.
Incredibly fun guys. Old Jeff, works up the high school, or was. At
Jeff
that time.
Stiles, he's
Jeff
retired now.
He's a lot of fun to listen to. And
Got
yeah,
Mark
good stuff.
Wheeler. Mark Wheeler's a great drummer. He plays with Ben Beckendorf on a lot of shows, and we're blessed to have him as our drummer. But we have a good time. We do classic rock, and for a bunch of old guys, we do pretty good.
You guys are amazing. Get them up and
we were playing it here one time. We had a bachelorette come up to us. He was kind of buzzed, and she said, "Y'all are old, but you sound young." I was like, "Hey, I'll take that." So yeah. We are old, but we do those classic rock songs all right. I mean,
y'all
we'll
do a
some,
great job. That's more fun in here, and just the fact that it's all the local guys. We know, we all know each other. It's a lot of fun. So I am blessed to have the community. I was just thinking about this. I have the community allow me to represent them at the school district as a school board trustee.
You bet.
And I couldn't just not say something about it. So, that I've been there since 2018. It's an incredible team to be on. All really good people. Our district, is unbelievable.
It is.
We're second to none in most things, and our kids are amazing. And it's been a really, really great experience, and I'm grateful to be able to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's fantastic. So, what do you think one of the biggest, since you said 2018, what do you think one of the biggest achievements that you've seen so far from the Fredericksburg Independent School District?
We can make you a list, but I cannot drive by that middle school and not just get choked up. I mean, it's unbelievable.
It is gorgeous.
What this community's doing, the investment it's making in kids and the future of the community, and that place is breathtaking. And I'm grateful to the community for doing it, and the taxpayers for paying for it. And
it came together like
quickly.
It seemed quick. I mean,
within budget and time and schedule and budget, all that stuff. We're really happy, and we can't wait to get it open. So one of the other things,
when is it gonna open?
It'll be open for this next
school year
Yep.
already.
Yep.
Man, there's a lot of excitement.
There's a lot of excitement.
Now, what are they going to do with the old site over on Travis?
So there'll be several things going on over there. Central office is going over there for sure. There'll be some, community stuff. There all kinds of things. But central office will be over there. Be a different boardroom. That sort of thing.
It'll
spread out.
Still be in the district.
Have a little bit more office space. Everything will be in the district. We'll keep the campus, which was important to me, and that's a very historic campus for Fredericksburg. And it's over 100 years. It's one of the oldest, or if it's not, it's my understanding, it's the oldest continuous school campus in Texas. So, it was time for a new one, but we love our old one as well.
Yeah, you bet. It served its purpose.
So just real quick, what I got here, my friend, is
that ain't a whipping post.
my friend, my very good friend, Mark Cornett, who has done a tremendous amount for this community, has been on the school board for 15 years, and he has decided to step off, and I hate to see him go, but he's done his time.
Did a great job.
He's a hero in the community. There's no question. He's seen it all. He's trained me on this. He's trained others, and it's just a wealth of information. And we're not letting him go. We're going to bug him. But he gave us all batons, and he's handing off the baton. And I thought that was a really cool gesture.
Oh man,
and,
yeah.
I kind of cherish it. I could not bring it on here. And
check it out.
Mark's one of the reasons I am a school board member, and he's a great guy and a great friend.
I was very slow in high school, so I never saw one of these.
Good stuff. Anyway,
I mean, I was a slow poke, man. There was no fast running for me, but no, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Love it.
And Gail Shesso will be joining us as a new school board member, and so we're very excited about her as well.
Like we mentioned, we want to have a lot of special guests on the Judge and JD show too. So we're looking forward to having a lot of guests come in, and
it's going to be good stuff.
Like I said, we want to have our finger on the pulse of the community and the tourist.
Yes, absolutely.
The tourists that come here kind of tie everything together.
Yep.
You know, Judge, it looks easy here with just us, the camera, talking.
It's kind of easy for you and I.
BSing a little bit, but it takes a lot of work to pull off a podcast, especially when you do audio and video. So there's a lot of people to thank, right?
There's a lot of people to thank, and before we stepped into this, I did not do my research. I decided we wanted to do it, so I called you. Had no idea the size of animal it is to put one of these things on. But I want to say my wife, Kristen, and Marty. Marty is our little producer here. Marty does everything. So
she keeps this train on the tracks.
She does. She's very involved.
Because it'll derail with me real fast.
It does with me all the time. They got to keep me on the track.
Y'all do like listening to yourself talk. That's for dang sure.
This show's kind of a train wreck.
Yeah, kind of. That's
just saying,
But this crew here, everybody's been amazing.
Paula.
I
mean, she works her butt off.
She works her butt off. I mean, that takes a lot of time. I had no idea on that.
She'll make us look good.
I asked for some hair on my head. She said to wear a cap. So
speaking of hair, look how my hair lights up with the Pioneer sign.
Looking like a chicken head
it's
right
not
there.
Check that. It's not gray. It's silver.
I'm a blue hair. What the?
Looking like a cockatoo on this.
But Sammy and Juan came out and helped get this stuff set up. The bar crew, Ashley's over there. Everybody did a great job.
Maddie
did a great job. Everybody's interested, and I think it's kind of fun. This is no one on my team's particular job, and everybody came together and it helped us put together.
I was amazed.
I was
when
appreciative
I stepped
of
in
it.
here last week. We did a little pre-run, just a test, and I was.
Well, it helped that you chased us around with a horsewhip too. He used that baton.
They chased me around.
But I was amazed when I came. All this equipment. Sometime we'll have to take a camera and zoom around. But man, this is great. Yeah. Great job, everybody.
Great job.
Well, Judge, we got to mention our families. I mean, they are the glue that holds everything together. They keep the home fires burning, right? And your partners here at Pioneer. So go for it, brother. Who we got?
I hate to say too much nice about Kristen. Her head it's this big, but she's my ride or die.
She's used to having a big head.
She's definitely my ride or die. She like you said, keep the home fires burning, keeps us all pointing the right direction, and somehow she still puts up with me. So she's a saint. It's been an interesting ride
Saint
for her.
Kristen.
But, I wouldn't say Saint Kristen, but wouldn't go that far. But anyway, I also have to mention Lauren and Scott, Kristen's sister, Lauren, and then Scott, her husband, our brother-in-law, Adams. They are both owners here with us as well. We shared with them that we were going to do this, and they got excited and did it with us. And made the whole thing a lot more fun. They're around, they help us. Lauren's in here all the time. That's where the flowers come from. She helps with the merch. Scott's just like me. He's behind the scenes doing everything he can. So they've been great business partners and even better family. We kind of raised our kids together. They got 3 kiddos, and then my sister lives down in Lake Jackson. Her and her husband Kyle, and they got 2 kiddos, and we got a good bunch here. My mom's still living out there on Yinsky Lane where we live. She's got a house, and we got a house on the same property, so that's very convenient.
Right. And
she's doing well, and that's my little world, man.
You forgot to mention my nephews.
Did I not mention Jack and John?
No, you did not mention my gorgeous, amazing, brilliant nephews.
I thought I did. Jack and John, my 2 little messes. They are 13 and 16. Jack's in high school. John is over St. Mary's in 7th grade, going to be 8. So Jack's going to be a junior.
Fun watching them in all the sports, right? They play a lot of sports.
They play a lot of sports, baseball, football, all that. They're very excited about the fall, as you might imagine, and we are too. So everything I asked for, family wise, it's come true, and it's pretty unbelievable, actually.
I love it. And one thing I will say about Pioneer Bar from playing here and just visiting here. The staff and everybody, it's one big happy family.
That's
the way you want to run a business. You want to take good care of your people. You take good care of your people, they're going to take good care of you. So
both
JD,
happen.
He puts the fun and dysfunctional here.
Other than beating up on me, Marty takes great care of me.
He puts the fun.
He puts the fun in dysfunctional here.
In dysfunctional.
Completely.
The company functions, but Marty and I, we're one way or another, but we love each other.
I do. I love Judge more than anything.
It's good stuff. But
not anything.
But no, we do have a family atmosphere here at Pioneer, and that's what the place is here for. It's here for friends, family, community.
One thing about this bar too, we talked about in the beginning of the show, or I did, that tourists and locals come together. This bar is just that.
It's just
on any given Saturday night, you got locals hanging out, partying with the tourists. Everybody's having a good time.
And nowadays,
hanging out.
Nowadays, with the new Albert 2 doors down, any given Tuesday night, we have that going on.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's our weekdays are getting busier and busier. As well, so it is both. You hit the nail on the head there. It is it's tourists, locals, and all coming together, and everybody's friends by the end of it. It seems
that's what keeps that train moving.
And keeps it moving. It's
the
fun.
Fredericksburg train's moving, baby.
It never stops. That's for sure.
That's right. It never stops. Well, as far as me, I've my wife Jennifer. She works at Kingwood Fine Cabinetry.
Okay,
she's the office manager there. She keeps a lot of things together there at Kingwood Fine Cabinetry. My daughter Ella goes to A&M, Gig'em. She's an Aggie. She'll be graduating in December, going into the health field. I think she wants to get into hospital administration now, which was kind of a calling. She wanted to be a physician's assistant, but then you know how those callings are. She's going to get into administration, I think. Wow. Which is, that'll be a good career for her.
JD wouldn't.
She was a hell of a softball pitcher. I spent a lot of time with my ass on a 5-gallon bucket. I caught for her since she was like 8.
And how far did that team go?
They made it to state.
Yes, they did go to state.
Her and Embry Betcher were the main pitchers, but Ella.
They were fun to watch.
All
we watched
state
those games right here. You announced them.
Oh man, and that's when Billy's Live first started.
Yes.
At the time with Paige Finley and
that's
his
been
crew.
so much fun as well, being able to watch all the sports, and follow them and with Billy's Live, and
we'll have Paige on a podcast sometime.
Anytime.
But yeah, so Ella's going to A&M and she'll be graduating in December. And then
do you ever wonder how the hell you and I pulled that off? We got great kids, great wives. Great
you made
staff.
me snort laugh.
How in the hell did you do that?
But
How did we
And I
pull that
thought it.
off?
I don't know.
We've been friends for too long, JD.
It's a miracle. Miracles really do happen.
I don't
So-
know that was predicted by a lot of people, but somehow we got wonderful families.
Well, who in the hell would ever thought I'd be an Uber driver? I mean, that's the biggest shocker. There's somebody lost a hell of a lot of money on that bet.
That's okay. Hey, if that makes you feel any better, they let me teach children at one time.
Yeah, exactly. So, they allow me to be a part of running a school. So they never thought I'd be on a school
Not
board.
here in
I do not have a
Fredericksburg. That's-
teacher.
We
that
got a
thought
lot
I
of
was
people
gonna-
fooled.
Fredericksburg absolutely told me, no, I cannot come to work here.
So that's part of this. You'll get to know the real us. The idea is authentic. It's us.
And with the
That's
Judge
it.
and JD show, that's what we want. This family to grow.
Yeah, to grow, and we want to present this family. We're going to bring people from in the community to come in and do the same thing we're doing out of the community. Anyway,
We want to cover a lot.
I don't know how we got off on that, but anyway,
Yeah. God bless our families.
God bless our families.
Yes.
We appreciate them.
You know, you were talking about business, right? I tried launching a new business once. I called it JD's Drive-Through Dating.
How'd that go?
It was going great until someone rear-ended a blind date. I mean, up until that point, it was going.
It was going real well till that happened. Huh? It was working for you, but yeah,
His lines were
JD.
kind of like, oh,
Things
I'm
happen.
sorry.
It was kind of like Koozy's Cooler. Remember Koozy's
Yes,
Cooler, the
yes.
drive-through, but it was for dating, and
Yeah.
All right, guys, why don't y'all tell me a little bit about what's going around town?
I got to put my sunglasses on for this one. Yeah, we talked about the live music.
Yes, live music, entertainment.
All right.
We want you to know where everything is.
There we
and-
got the JD I know right there.
Absolutely.
But all right, yeah, let's talk about some things going on around town. We'll try to, as time progresses.
Talk about music. Do you wear the glasses when you're singing?
I don't.
His sunglasses,
because
his eyes, what is it? Your future's bright when you got your shades on.
my future's so bright, I got to wear shades.
There you go. I couldn't remember the song.
I wear my sunglasses at night so I can see,
so he can see, because he's blind.
But
No singing for me.
the truth of the matter is, I would wear sunglasses, but I can't. We're old and we can't remember lyrics, so we have a little computer and I can't. When I put my sunglasses on, I can't
Gotcha.
see the lyrics.
Gotcha.
So dang it, I can't wear them. But maybe these are polarized now. But let's talk about some music. Like I said, we're going to try to cover as much as we can each week. But right here at Pioneer Bar, baby, we'll start with Pioneer. Friday and Saturday night, Hagen Tucker.
So it's my understanding those are some new guys, right, Marty?
Yes, sir.
And that's exciting. We like bringing in new bands,
You bet.
and just seeing what. But Marty, did they reach out to us? You reach out to them?
It was kind of a mutual thing.
Mutual thing.
I think they sent me an email. I had them send me some
five
video
piece,
clips, and
Can't wait to hear it. Hear them.
Yeah, I don't know.
I honestly do not remember how many members are in every band because we have
Right,
so
we
many.
have so many, but
So I kind of have
and
to
this
ask
bunch
them,
is
like,
new.
run me again. There's no more than 5 of you guys, right? Because we have a small stage.
Well, being these guys are new, we're excited. So I'll take a little video of them. Try to when we're this weekend when we're
Oh,
in
cool.
Yeah.
here. And we'll try to put it up however we do that. But anyway, didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, that's all right. And then Crossroads on Friday night, they got the Cap City Band, Saturday Groove Generation. Josh Peak, a local favorite. He's going to be.
Josh is a year younger than me, I believe.
Yeah.
We went to Stonewall together.
I was going to say local. He's going to be at Pedernales Cellars on Saturday. Look, you can just Google that for times and such. Also on Saturday, Paul Hilliard will be at Silver Creek. Don't forget Fredericksburg Trade Days. Now, this is cool. Fredericksburg Trade Days, of course, is what, the third weekend every month, I believe?
Yes, I think so.
Second or third weekend of every month. But anyway, well, it is this weekend.
Yes.
So the Drugstore Cowboys are out there on Saturday. What great band. And if you want to head out there Friday, do a little shopping, they've got like 350 vendors out there.
Yeah, no, it's worth the trip out there, and the band plays under shade, and they've got a bar in there. It's nice. I haven't been out there in a while, but
I buy a lot of LPs. I've got a record player now.
Yeah.
And I just love the sound of
So much better.
old vinyl. But they've got some cool record shops in there. I mean, just as one small example, but it's a cool place, Fredericksburg Trade Days. So like I said, Friday, Anthony Wright. On Saturday, the Drugstore Cowboys there at Fredericksburg Trade Days. The Peach Jamboree is coming up in June.
In June. Yeah, that's an exciting one. Melissa Eckert's come by and talked to me a little bit about it. And we're going to try to interview their guests or their performers. You know, like their headliners are going to have Cody Canada and Wade, and yeah, it's going to be exciting. And Wade Bowen.
The boys from Oklahoma roll those all wrong. They roll the joints all around. But
so that's in June. Now, right here around the corner, and who we'll probably be talking to next week, hopefully. We haven't pulled it all together yet, is the JCs. The Fredericksburg JCs put on their local crawfish festival, and it helps raise money for youth in the community and that sort of thing. And it's a blast.
So Friday, Rick Trevino. Saturday, Braxton Keith.
Yes.
That's next weekend. A lot of crawfish, Cajun music. Next weekend.
It's a ball. And we'll be down there. We'll be down there. This year they're doing a full bar. In the past they've done kind of beer and wine. But we'll be down there doing their bar for them. And so just come up, say hello to me. We might put you on a mic or something. You never know.
Downtown Fredericksburg.
Yes. So that's a really good event. Then the Peach Jamboree's excellent event. And so we'll be reaching out to these events and try to bring them to the show and let them tell you a little more about it.
Sounds good. Hondo's on Friday. Chuck Weimer, he's had, we talked about the Texas Red Dirt music charts. He's been really coming on strong. He's had several singles chart. I think he's had a couple of number ones. But Chuck Weimer will be at Hondo's on Friday, and Brett Graham will be there on Saturday. So there's a lot. There's always live music going on.
You can find live music when you come to Fredericksburg for sure.
And summer's almost coming. Is school out yet?
School in
summertime. It's gonna be summer.
Graduation is that Friday of Crawfish Festival.
We talked about Billy's Live. They're gonna cover graduation. For people that can't make it,
which is awesome. You know, there's a lot of families that can't make it. But yeah, graduation's always a fun one for me, and then convocation and all that for the staff, and it's a good time to bring everybody together. You can see the relief of the teachers, getting a tiny little break. They don't get the break they used to, but it's a good time. Great time of year,
Everybody needs a break.
Everybody needs a break.
That's usually when Pioneer starts to get really busy, right?
That's when Pioneer gets busy. Yes, Pioneer tends to get really busy. Our summers tend to be pretty good around here. We you never know. It's hit or miss. A lot of it depends on the weather. If it's really hot, people don't come.
Speaking of the weather, how about this crazy weather? 47 degrees the other morning, right? It's highs in the 70s, and then we're at 105 this week.
It's
or
Texas.
103, whatever. Give or take.
People say, it's Texas weather. Really, Fredericksburg, Texas weather is even more of a mess. You just don't know.
Peaches. It's peach picking time.
It's peach picking time.
I understand they're going to have a good crop now. They had plenty of chill time for the peaches. So
they had the chill
should be a good crop this year, right?
Yes, and they started picking about a week ago.
Great.
Rusty Yansky, him and Kelly. Rusty's on the school board with me and grew up with me, and him and Kelly grew up with Kristen and I. And he said they're starting to pick, and pretty much once they get going, they'll pick 7 days a week. So probably mid-July, early July. So they're not the only ones doing it. Several of them. You'll see several of the roadside stands open. I grew up doing that. That's when my parents started their business. We were peach farmers, and
oh yeah.
And so I like that it's still a thing, because it was such a huge thing when I was a child, and I like that it's still a thing, and people come here for it. And Fredericksburg Stonewall still has the best peaches anywhere in the world,
without a doubt.
Without a doubt,
it's peach picking time in Fredericksburg.
I'm gonna have Rusty send some up here.
Okay.
For next week.
We'll eat some live on the podcast.
We have a peach eating contest.
Okay, I'll win that hands down. That's what do you
write
call
that
it?
down, Marty. Write that down.
I've got it written down. JD to do peach toasting contest by himself.
Hey, school will be out. Well, not for our next show. The next show, maybe have some kids do the peach eating contest.
That'll be fun. We're gonna do all kinds of fun stuff.
Especially this summer.
You bet. It's going to be fun show, the Judge and JD show. Let's talk a little bit about our businesses here. Of course, Pioneer Bar.
I think we should.
Live music, cold drinks, a little chaos. Huh?
Live music, cold drinks, a little chaos, a lot of fun. All are welcome. We want you here. Tourists and locals. It's a place for fellowship, community, friends and family. It's a place for Judge and JD and
locals and tourists alike.
Yes.
We also have
Life.
an amazing husband daycare where you can leave your husband
Yes,
here.
if you'd like, you can leave your husband here until
It's a husband
on the
daycare.
weekend
So they go,
until 2 in the
while you go
morning, so we
shopping, you're more
close.
than welcome to leave your husband here. The only thing we ask is at the end of the night, you pick them out of a lineup because we
Yes.
just store the rest as a future laborers.
Yes, we have them back there washing dishes. But so ladies, we know how it is when you like to shop. If you need to shed a husband, we can entertain him.
Oh, you betcha. You betcha. What about Coach's Hill Country Hospitality?
Well,
Come on.
Coach's Country Store Inc. We're talking about naming it a little more, a different thing. Coach's Hill Country Hospitality be something we might change to.
Okay.
But in essence, that's the Coaches does all the festivals around the state. The biggest being the Renaissance Festival that I mentioned earlier, the Crawfish Festival, many others, and
A lot of catering.
and then the catering we do around the state as well. But right here is our focus, in the Fredericksburg community because we're right here. And like I say, we do banquets, weddings. We work with the wineries, work with the Chamber of Commerce on their stuff. Anything you need, food and beverage, we got it.
And that's been in your family. That business has been in your family. Your dad, Coach,
since the
started it.
1930s, and my great uncle came home from World War II and started a restaurant. Grandparents had a restaurant up in Borger, Texas, up in the Amarillo area. And then my parents came down here, and peach farming was getting a little rough with late freezes and so forth and low chill hours. So we did what we do, and we got back into the bar restaurant business. And in fact, Coaches turned 50 this year. We started in 1975.
Man, and speaking of, that's wonderful. You and I, we go way back in
We
the
do.
Fredericksburg
We do.
community.
Farther than Coach's Country Store, that's for sure.
You say that again?
Farther than Coach's Country Store, that's for sure.
Well, I don't, but JD does. I'll say that.
I do too.
Don Weinheimer.
Don's great.
You bet. He
Commissioner.
looked up our family tree, but I also found out, you talk about history, and I didn't really know this. My dad never told me this, but my great-great-grandfather's brothers started Weinheimer and Son in Stonewall.
Oh, wow.
So you talk about history, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So
Bunny passed away a few years ago. But yeah, no, I think that store goes way back before
almost
him.
with Dooley's. It's
And-
almost as long as Dooley's was. Dooley's was around for 100 more years, right? 100 or so years.
Yes. Stop in there, see Deanne. That's
Yeah.
a great store if you need.
I love that store.
If you need some Oreos or some beans or a pair of boots or a gun.
How about that meat section, though, baby?
Yeah, the meat section.
You want to get a porterhouse or a steak? Come on.
And they'll butcher it for you. They got great sandwiches and
They got your beef.
And you're guaranteed some great BS out the front door with the locals. They want to chat, so it's a lot of fun.
It is. You don't see many general stores like that around anymore.
No, you don't. No, you don't. I'm glad.
Like you said, they got a
we
little
have
bit
one
of
in
everything.
Stonewall, Texas.
And of course, I have Weinheimer Tours. I've got the Cheers Fun Bus.
Tell us about that Cheers
party.
bus.
The
The Cheers Fun Bus is the one I always hear about.
Yeah, that one's been booking like crazy. That bus actually started in Lubbock,
Okay.
and a lady, her name was Donna. She designed it on the inside, and then a lady named Cheryl, she bought it, and it was in Johnson City, and I saw it on a tour. I saw Cheryl, and I said, if you ever want to sell this bus, let me know, because it is cool. And hopefully on some future episodes, we'll have some pictures and so forth of the inside of it. But it is a very cool bus. It books like crazy. Bachelorettes love it. It's got karaoke on it. But the inside is kind of, I don't want to, it's got like a 60s, 70s vibe to it. And I bought it, and I didn't change anything.
Well, they love it. I mean, we hear about it.
Yeah, it's just got a cool vibe. It's a fun bus.
I'm going to assume that, like everything else with you, JD, it's not necessarily a wine tour. It's a show.
It is a
knowing
show.
Knowing you, it's
and I'm the shit show supervisor. So
yes, so he is the executive producer of the shit show.
Produced by Quentin Tarantino and JD Rose. No, but it's such a fun gig. And you're right. You know, it's the vehicle is cool and everything, but it's not really all. It's not about the vehicle. It's about the driver. You know what I'm saying?
The experience.
If you got a driver who's just like,
because they spend more time on your bus than they do at the wineries, right?
They love that bus.
Yes.
They love that bus. So, but yeah, Weinheimer Tours, WINE.
But you have multiple buses. You have multiple.
I do. I have multiple buses. Yeah. And a brand new one.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm going to be unveiling soon.
You got exciting stuff coming.
You betcha. So check us out, WeinheimerTours.com, WINE-HEIMI Tours, HEIMER Tours.com, or better yet, call 830-329-6608 if you want to book a private wine tour.
Let's repeat that number one more time for our guests.
830-329-6608. We do concerts, events, wine tours, birthdays, the whole list goes on.
All the
it's
good
a fun
stuff.
party bus.
The fun party bus. It is.
Good times.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We talked about pioneering coaches, and that's what we got for business.
That's what we got.
And we got. It seems like a whole lot going on for that little bit of talk, but we do all have a lot going on, and you know, if you see us run around like crazy, it's because we have a heck of a lot going on.
Again, we're involved with local community.
Yes.
And we're involved with our visitors.
Yes, and you know, and we're involved in our local community in a lot of ways, but we're also friends with the local community, you know. And so around here, you know, what you see is what you get. It's authentic. It's us. These are the people that, you know, that are here every day, and we want to see you.
Well said. Well, man, we done did it. That's going to do it for our very first show, but we want you to join us each week. It'll be a weekly show, the Judge and JD show, and man, we're just so darn excited.
I could not be more fired up about this.
I know.
And, you know, I was a little nervous, didn't know what to expect, but I really am excited. And, you know, we want to hear from you. We want to hear from our folks. If you have any ideas for the show, or you want to come on the show, that sort of thing, let us know. But if you could, it helps us and helps us reach out to the community a little easier. So if you will subscribe to our YouTube channel, where this is going to be in whole, you'll see us on other places, like, you know, all over social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, so forth, so on. We're still kind of learning that ourselves, JD and I. And
make sure you tell your friends.
Yes, tell your friends.
Tell your enemies.
Please. Tell your enemies.
Tell everybody.
We'll accept anybody here.
but if you can, subscribe, like, share, all that jazz. It helps us. It helps us.
Like, subscribe, and get notified when we
I'd like to also add that we're not going anywhere. We're going to be doing this for a while, and we're doing it for the community, and we want the community to be a part of it. So, good stuff, and thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for reaching out to me and letting me be a part of this fun.
Yes, sir.
And that's just it. We're going to have fun.
We're
going to have a damn good time with this thing here.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir.
Thanks for being a part of it, everybody, and y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy all that good live music out there.
You bet.
Thank you again for joining us for the Judge and JD Show. Please subscribe to us on YouTube video. You can find the links on our Facebook page, our Instagram, or even our homepage, which is located at www.pioneerfbg.com. Until then, you guys enjoy the rest of your week. This is Marty with the Judge and JD Show.